Exclusive contract novel of Feilu Fiction Network. Genshin Impact. I'm too difficult for the Deer Hunter boss. You can join Genshin Impact if you haven't played before. It's best to play together. After watching it, Jiang Chen crossed to the Tivat continent and bought a Deer Hunter restaurant. Waiter Sarah always wants to learn new recipes from meYing will come and hang out whenever she has something to do, hoping to take me on an adventure together. Barbara comes to my house every day to eat Mapo tofu when Qin is resting. He runs towards me. meLisa is even more outrageous. She came over to slack off during work hours, and Fischer always says obscure and difficult to understand things. Jiang Chen. It's too difficult for me. Feilu Novel Network reminds you that this novel and its characters are purely fictional. If there are any similarities, they are purely coincidental and should not be imitated. Chapter 1, in short, is very cute. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Genshin Impact Cultivation System, host. Jiang Chen level. LV9, initial, element mastery. Wind, rock skills. Wind wave / LV1, Wind King barrier LV1, Rock wall LV1, Rock dragon vein LV1. Current assets. Deer Hunter restaurant existing training object. Fischer LV20 cultivation obtained. None, host needs to help Fischer break through 1. Host upgrade rule. For each breakthrough of the cultivation object, the host level increases by 1. The second floor attic of the Deer Hunter restaurant. Since the former owner of the Deer Hunter restaurant transferred a large stake in the restaurant to Jiang Chen, this place has naturally been transformed into Jiang Chen's residence in Mon City. Jiang Chen, 19 years old. A handsome guy. Self-proclaimed. But being so popular among girls in my freshman year shouldn't be any worse. Jiang Chen stretched lazily and walked out of the attic. Adhering to the principle of transparent kitchen and meeting the needs of customers, the kitchen of Deer Hunter restaurant has always been located outside, and Mon's customers also enjoy eating at the stalls outside. So there are relatively fewer customers eating in the restaurant. But at this lunchtime, the restaurant is not as empty as it is now. There is not a single customer. The Wind Demon Dragon has become increasingly irritable lately. Jiang Chen murmured to herself, with an imperceptible sense of anticipation in her tone. You should be coming soon, right? A traveler from another world. His words fell and a voice came from the 4-person table behind him. What's coming soon? Isn't brother Jiang Chen a traveler from another world? Jiang Chen turned around to look. A linen ponytail girl wearing a pure white pastor's dress and a pastor's hat was sitting on a wooden bench with her knees bent. Her black little gift shoes were neatly arranged to one side, her feet wrapped in warm white silk were stepping on the bench, and her hands were rubbing her calves. The cute and delicate face occasionally showed a painful expression as it was pinched to the point of the leg muscles. Barbara. Jiang Chen was taken aback for a moment, and her mood immediately improved as she woke up. Don't ask. Asking is very cute. When did Barbara come? Just now. Barbara rubbed her legs and said, Brother Jiang Chen just woke up at noon. You can't be so lazy. Is it too high for ordinary citizens? He is recognized by both the Mon people and the Knight's Order, and Jiang Chen should work harder to become a role model. Yes. Jiang Chen shrugged helplessly and said, I reckon we'll be busy soon. Is it about the Wind Demon Dragon? Barbara's blue eyes, as clear as a lake, gazed at him with anticipation. Has brother Jiang Chen found a way to solve the Wind Demon Dragon? I said it doesn't count. Jiang Chen shook his head and did not give a direct answer. The increasing irritability of the Wind Demon Dragon indicates that the activities of the Abyss cult have become more frequent. The prince or princess should be in place, and the remaining one of these two is the key to solving the problem. Jiang Chen has been waiting here for a year. Traveling through this kind of thing is not something I can control. What's the solution if I come early? Jiang Chen is also very desperate. If it weren't for familiar characters like Barbara, Chin, Kaya, Dilek, and so on, he wouldn't know how to get by. Speaking of which, Barbara ran over at noon, not afraid of being blamed by Sister Rosalia. Jiang Chen asked. Ah. Don't tell Sister Rosalia. Barbara waved her hand in panic and said. So taking the risk of being blamed by Sister Rosalia. Well, today's church lunch is relatively light. Barbara poked her finger and couldn't help but look at the independent stove on the second floor of the restaurant, which had no smoke or fire, and swallowed her saliva. Jiang Chen smiled and gave a headshot. What do you want to eat? That's the new stove that Jiang Chen invited blacksmith Wagner to make after checking in. I can't think of anything to eat on my own. I have to go down there and make it in front of so many pedestrians and guests, right? The president is not tall. Barbara muttered, but compared to that, Jiang Chen's words were more appealing to her. Mapo tofu. She immediately said. Money? Jiang Chen asked again. Barbara tightly pursed her delicate lips together and reluctantly took out 10 moles from her pocket. Ha ha ha. Jiang Chenle is really stingy. He said you should know that the cheapest Tivat fried egg in Deer Hunter restaurant requires 200 moras, not to mention Mapo tofu, which is not on the menu. There's only so much left. Next time, I'll invite Brother Jiang Chen to eat at the church. Barbara shouted with a flushed face. No matter how much she has, she won't be willing to eat Mapo tofu. Okay. Jiang Chen collected the money. According to his understanding, Barbara, who comes from a noble background, is definitely a little rich woman. I really want to see her piggy bank. Jiang Chen went over to light the fire, and when he was heating up the stove, he opened the window and shouted out, Sarah, bring some tofu up. Yes, boss. Sarah responded at the booth. She hurriedly brought up a box of tofu and couldn't help but complain, Boss, there have been a lot fewer tourists and merchants recently, and our business has declined significantly. Deer hunters mainly engage in the business of outsiders, while locals occasionally come here to eat. After all, there are wind demon dragons active near Mond, and merchants and travelers dare not come. Jiang Chen expressed understanding. As he spoke, he casually chopped the julienne pepper, and the pungent and spicy taste spread throughout. Barbara sniffed the smell, her eyes lit up, and couldn't help but run over to watch him cook. With his hands behind his back, his feet wrapped in white silk tiptoed slightly on the floor, and his skirt fluttered along, humming a beautiful tune. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 2. In short, it is very beautiful. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Boss, I'll go down first. In case any guests come to order. Sarah said. Although she also wanted to stay with her boss and Barbara, she couldn't bear the spiciness. Chopping the julienne pepper is too harsh. When she makes spicy sea base, she always adds some finished powder, so the spicy taste won't be so strong. Even so, not many people in Mon City can stand that dish. Only occasional merchants and travelers from other regions will visit. Jiang Chen nodded. Take off the fresh animal meat that Sarah hung this morning and chop it into minced meat. Fresh animal meat comes from Qingchuan town outside Mon City, where every household is a hunter who supplies fresh meat to Mon City every day. Take out another hook fruit from the box and squeeze out a little juice. Sprinkle chopped julienne pepper into the white and tender tofu in the pot. This small lampshade sells 1,000 moles at Flora's place. Jiang Chen took out a small lampshade with a faint blue glow emanating from its stamen and said. Xiaodenko is used as a food ingredient to enhance its freshness. Cooking this Mapo tofu for Barbara is a big loss. Even the small lamp grass produced by Mond is so expensive, let alone the julienne pepper produced by Liyue. Why do we have to make such a big loss? Don't ask. The question is, Barbara is very cute. I know. Brother Jiang Chen is also very stingy. Barbara gave him a white glance, her mood all on the red soup and white tofu in the pot. Just a gentle sniff of the breath coming out of the pot made her feel a faint heat all over. All right. In no time. Jiang Chen brings the steaming Mapo tofu to the table. Amidst the red soup and white tofu, chopped into small, inch-long lampgrass, the roots stand upright inside the dish. It is emerald green and orchid-like, with a brilliant oil color, as if it has just been picked and chopped from a forest, vivid and vivid. Wow! Barbara's eyes lit up, and colorful magical stars flickered around her body. She couldn't wait to take out the dishes and sit down. Barbara is moving. She put her hands together and prayed. Then she took a spoonful of Mapo tofu and entered. The smooth taste of tofu and the crispy meat foam upon entry, as well as various delicious foods such as hot, spicy, numb, and savory, are exploding on the taste buds like explosions. Barbara covered her cheeks and clamped her legs, finally suppressing her indecent behavior of not shouting out loud. Sweat is also pouring out frequently from the body. The sweat beads on the fragrant shoulders were slightly sparkling, and the warm white silk had also been soaked, revealing the calves inside. Jiang Chen sat by the window, smiling and watching her eat. Suddenly, out of the corner of my eye, I caught a familiar tall figure greeting him. Jiang Chen turned around and nodded. The figure walked into the deer hunter's restaurant. Here comes the Qin. Jiang Chen said. Barbara, who was intoxicated with Mapo tofu, suddenly froze, and her blue eyes looked at him with the intention of asking. Here, it's already up. Jiang Chen gestured for her to look towards the stairs. The acting commander of the Westwind Knights, dressed in a white knight's uniform and tall in stature, has already walked up. With grayish-purple eyes and a fair and delicate face that is pleasing to the eye, the curly golden long hair at the end is combed into a ponytail, and 2 strands of sideburns hang down from both sides. The white knightly uniform is adorned with golden patterns, and a black leather tailcoat is attached to the back and waist on both sides, hanging all the way down to the calves. Wearing a shawl with a black exterior and a green interior, and a Gothic standing collar, adorned with a golden belt representing the acting leader of the Westwind Knights hanging diagonally from the waist. Definitely worthy of the word beauty. Qin, rare guest. Jiang Chen smiled and said. It's not as exaggerated as you said. Qin also smiled slightly when she saw him, and immediately noticed that there were other people in the store. Her tone became even softer. Barbara is also here. Barbara's face turned red and she ran away like she had eaten a discovered mouse. I'm full. Qin team leader, Jiang Chen brother, I'm going back to the church first. Barbara took 2 steps, only to realize that she had forgotten to put on her shoes. She came back and quickly put on her black gift shoes, running downstairs. Qin discovered that she had walked out of the church at noon without doing anything serious, but instead came to eat with a deer hunter. It is estimated that she will be entangled in her heart for a long time. Don't run so fast, am I so scary? Qin is very helpless. If I had known she wouldn't have come up earlier. Anyone in Mon City who gets hit by Qin while resting or even slacking off will be ashamed to hide their face and flee. Jiang Chen said. Qin felt a bit disappointed. I feel like I've become someone nobody wants to see. No, I'm just glad to see Qin. Jiang Chen hugged her chest with both hands and commented, it's rare to see a beauty like Qin. Thank you for the compliment. Qin crouched slightly towards him with the etiquette of a lady. She said again, Barbara works very hard, sometimes she forces herself too hard. I can sense that she is very happy with you, so she shouldn't bother you. Jiang Chen was slightly taken aback, walked forward and reached out to probe her cheek. Jiang Chen. Qin took a step back, her cheeks slightly flushed. I was wondering if your face would heat up when you said that, Jiang Chen said speechlessly. Are you the least qualified person to speak, Lord Acting Commander of the Knights? Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 3 is Princess. You are listening at novel full.audio. Qin understood his meaning and suddenly felt a little guilty. Just returned from outside, didn't you have lunch today? Jiang Chen asked. How did you know? I don't know about you yet. Jiang Chen spread out his hand. If you were staying at the Knight's headquarters today, how could you possibly spend time visiting? You must have passed by, right? Is my action already so easy to guess? Qin fell into contemplation, thinking that this might give the Fools and the Abyss cult an opportunity to set an ambush. However, with our own strength, we can just defeat them and thwart their actions. What do you want to eat? Jiang Chen gestured for her to sit down and said, I have specially rewarded you. I have always been grateful for your care. Don't say such outrageous things, okay? That. Thank you. Qin stroked a strand of hair on her cheek and said, pizza. The old rule is not to tell Margaret. Jiang Chen said. Well, I know. Qin's face showed a slight smile. Margaret is the owner of a Cat's Tail Tavern, which is adjacent to the Deer Hunter. The most popular food is pizza. If Margaret finds out that deer hunters also make pizza for customers, there may be a business dispute. Then let's have the eel, specially left for you. Jiang Chen said, grabbing a long-bodied fish from the bucket in the corner. Eel. I have never seen this variety of Qin before. It was caught a few days ago by a servant of the Dialek family by chance in the lake below the Dawn Winery. I didn't know how to eat it and didn't dare to cook, so I bought it by the way. Jiang Chen began to condense the wind elements in his hands, and in the blink of an eye, he took the life of this eel, and then began to use his knife. Qin hesitated and said, eel pizza. You're right, as a traveler from another world, you always know some knowledge that the Tivat continent doesn't know, said Jiang Chen. At the same time. At the entrance of Mon City. The pastoral city of the wind and dandelions, the capital of freedom, and the travelers sheltered by the knights, welcome to the city of Mond. A girl in a red dress with long chestnut hair and a red rabbit ear not often tied around her head is warmly introducing the blonde girl and her mascot who came to Mond City during this special period. The undisguised pride in their tone made the two newly arrived travelers yearn for it. Wow, finally there's no need to camp out in the wilderness. The mascot flying in mid-air excitedly spun around, but soon realized that the atmosphere was a bit off. Amber, why are the people in the city not in good spirits? Recently, everyone has been worrying about the matter of the wind demon dragon. Amber confidently said with his hands on his hips, but with the Qin around, everything will be fine. Qin. Our acting commander of the Westwind Knights, Qin, is the guardian of Mond. Amber said, we, who are with Qin, can definitely overcome disasters at the level of Wind Demon Dragon. The mascot exclaimed, Amber admires the Qin very much. Of course, but before going to the Knight's Order, let's go to a place first. Where is it? Deer Hunter Restaurant. Restaurant. Is it food? The mascot's eyes lit up. As soon as Xiao Paimeng mentioned the food, he became particularly excited. It's not yet dinner time. Amber said, it's because the owner of the Deer Hunter restaurant, like Ying, is a traveler from another world, or can get some help from him. Are you also a traveler from another world? The blonde girl known as Ying became a bit nervous. Well, but it's definitely not just your brother. Mr. Jiang Chen has black hair and black pupils, which looks very nice. Amber, who was outside the city, heard Ying describe her brother's appearance and waved his hand, let's go. Afterwards, I also have a gift for you as a reward for helping me clean up the Ren camp. Ah, seeing someone has a share, what about me? Pai Meng became anxious. It's something that Xiao Piman can't use, but tonight I'll treat you to Mon's special honey sauce carrot fried meat. Wow, meYing's saliva was almost flowing out. Here we are, that's it. Amber pointed to the sign of the deer hunter and happened to see the window on the second floor open. He shouted, Boss Jiang Chen, there are 2 travelers from different worlds here. Do you want to see them? Oh. Jiang Chen looked out and coincidentally met Ying's pair of brown eyes, causing him to lose some focus. Then he smiled slightly and nodded friendly. Just then said to Amber, come on up, you're here in time and have a good taste. What does you have good taste mean? Is there something delicious to eat? meYing looked expectant and flew up beside Amber and Ying. The head of the piano team is also here. Amber was startled. Amber, don't be impolite. Qin said a sentence and placed one hand on her chest, saying to Ying and meYing, Mond welcomes you, travelers who come with the wind. Hello. The acting captain of the Knights, who is highly respected by Amber, is actually such a beauty. Ying looked at the deer hunter boss who made her somewhat concerned and said, hello, my name is Ying. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 4. Getting Rich and Rich, Mora Mouse. You are listening at novelfull.audio. In the middle of the 6-person table, only a corner of the hot eel pizza was left. Pemin touched his belly, his gaze still craving the corner of the pizza. Parman can swear that he has never eaten such delicious food before. Amber is also very greedy. But as a member of the Shifeng Knights, she has to maintain her image. And, this was originally the food specially prepared by boss Jiang Chen for the Qin team leader to eat, right? I have never heard of Mr. Jiang Chen making this kind of pizza before. Detective Knight Amber's intuition is very keen. My gaze wandered around the 2 of them, pondering their relationship in my heart. Qin didn't seem to notice her subordinate's caution. She crossed her hands on the table and said to Ying, I have a rough understanding of the situation. Later, the Shifeng Knights will help you post a notice of missing people throughout the city. Thank you. Just fulfilling the duties of the Knight's order, there's no need to thank them. Qin said seriously, as Anbai said, it might be better for Ying to consult Jiang Chen. Is this the meaning of handing it over to me? Jiang Chen asked. Qin felt a bit embarrassed, although it's not good to entrust the affairs of the Knights to you, if it's helpful to Ying. Here we go again, a matter of just 1 sentence. Then. Please. Qin blushed slightly and said. She stood up and said, the Knights still have work to deal with, so I'll go back first. I casually took away the last corner of the pizza. meYing's reluctant gaze followed Qin's disappearance from sight before retracting. Jiang Chen said, I don't know much about your brother's situation either, but I believe that one day you will meet. Before that, I will try my best to make you stronger. Becoming stronger. Ying hesitated and said, Jiang Chen. Boss, it seems like you know something. You can just call me by name, Ying. Jiang Chen nodded and said, since the initiator is an unknown deity, even if you encounter your brother in the future, you must have the corresponding strength to confront the deity. Otherwise, such things may happen again. Speaking of which, it seems that Ying doesn't have a divine eye and can use elemental power, just like boss Jiang Chen. Amber interjected. Perhaps this is the uniqueness of travelers from other worlds. Jiang Chen is not familiar with this either. He has a system. Ying must be a physical problem. After all, Kong and Ying are genuine travelers from other worlds who have experienced multiple worlds. And he's just a traveler. You're right. Ying clenched her fist and lost all her strength in the battle with the gods. She now needs to practice again. So in the future, if there's anything you need help with, Ying can just let me know. Jiang Chen reached out his hand. Ying looked into his eyes and reached out to join him. The long-lost sound of the system also rang in my mind at this moment. System prompt. Key training targets have been added, Ying. Object name. Ying level. LV2 element mastery. Wind skills. Wind vortex sword LV1, wind breath stirring LV1. Jiang Chen's heart moved. According to the rules of the system. With Ying, he can finally level up in the world, so he can also level up. You should know that after helping Fischer advance to level 20, he was stuck in a world level card and couldn't break through. He understood that he had to wait until the arrival of Ying or Kong. So the preparation for cultivating others was also covered in dust. So far, there is only Fischer. That girl is currently on a mission at the Adventure Association and usually doesn't come back for a month or two. Even if you come back, you have to wait for the screen to upgrade first. Ying, congratulations. meYing turned around and put his hands on his hips. With Jiang Chen's help, it feels like you can walk horizontally in Mon City. It has a strong resemblance to a fox pretending to be a tiger. How could it be? Amber picked her up and pulled her face. Even boss Jiang Chen is following the rules of the Shifeng Knights. Do you know, meYing, you're instigating me. Woo 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 woo, Pemon made a series of uncomfortable sounds. Jiang Chen was speechless for a moment, and this faction of meYing would continue to die as usual. Maybe one day they'll be eaten as emergency food. It's not easy to walk horizontally. If you give me my name, it will be quite convenient. Jiang Chen said. Yingxing said. It's strange in my heart, I always feel that Jiang Chen has become her guardian, but I don't reject that feeling. When my brother was around before, that was the feeling. She asked curiously, Jiang Chen, how long have you been here? About a year. Jiang Chen said. What? meYing, who finally broke free on the side, widened his eyes in surprise. Did Jiang Chen save enough money in just 1 year to open such a large deer hunter restaurant in Mon City? meYing made a big gesture. Well, to be precise, I bought over half of the shares. Jiang Chen said. Wow. meYing became excited and said, can you teach us how to make money? Ying is also very interested. Because she has traveled to multiple worlds, she knows that it is difficult to move without money in human settlements. Moreover, she does want to purchase a set of equipment. Make money. Jiang Chen hesitated for a moment and said, I didn't make money. So why do you have so much money? meYing asked in confusion. Oh, I raised a group of Mora mice before, and they can spit out tens of thousands of gold coins every day, accumulating a lot of money. Jiang Chen said, we have a money-spitting machine. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 5. Amber becomes jealous. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Mora mouse. meYing's eyes lit up and he asked in surprise. No matter how you listen, it seems that Jiang Chen doesn't have to do anything every day, just sleeping in the pile of Mora, and Mora keeps increasing. Isn't this her ultimate dream? It's a kind of mouse that can vomit, Jiang Chen said. Wow. meYing quickly came over and hugged his leg. Mr. Jiang Chen, will you take care of us? Ying's pretty face turned slightly red upon hearing this, but she didn't panic because even a person wouldn't take this statement seriously. Jiang Chen kicked his leg but didn't shake it off. I said before, but now I rely on the business of deer hunters to make money, he said. Where is the Mora mouse that can vomit a lot of Mora? meYing asked eagerly. Anbai caught her speechlessly and replied on behalf of Jiang Chen, of course, they were all released. Release it. Pemon expressed that he couldn't understand. That's a tool that can make her spew money and not do anything every day, just procrastinate and grow. Of course. Guess how many bandit groups did Mr. Jiang Chen dismiss at that time? If we don't release him again, not to mention within the borders of Mond and Liyue, even the bandit groups from other countries on the Tivat continent will be targeting him. Anbai said, but the thieves who were also at a loss have all set their sights on Mr. Jiang Chen. At that time, the security in Mond and Liyue's territory was surprisingly good. Ah, is it so dangerous? meYing exclaimed in surprise. In the future, in the wild, you may encounter Mora rats, and you will see them then. Jiang Chen said calmly and looked at Ying. Here, I'll give you a set of equipment. This. Ying hesitated a bit. Ying, hurry up. meYing urged, this kind of good thing, others won't encounter it. Well, boss Jiang Chen takes extra care of Ying. Amber also said with some envy. Jiang Chen, who has fought against thieves countless times, has always been one of Amber's idols. If Amber wants it, I'll give you a set later. Jiang Chen said. To upgrade oneself, Amber is also one of the objects to be cultivated. Shooting explosive barrels, breaking mechanism tools, people. Not existing. This is not a game that limits the number of team members. Cultivating one more person is equivalent to having more combat power. Great, thank you, Mr. Jiang Chen. Amber said happily. Pulling Paimon through the air, he happily pinched her face. Why am I still suffering? meYing struggled to break free and flew out, looking very angry. Ying. Jiang Chen called out at the entrance of the attic. Well, here we go. Ying followed with small steps, looking at the spacious attic with some envy. Although called an attic, it is actually the third floor of the Deer Hunter restaurant, only occupying half of the area of the second floor. The high-end wood customized flooring and inner walls, ventilated windows, and bright skylights make walking here feel quite comfortable. Ying couldn't help but want to stretch her waist. There are a total of 4 rooms on this floor, and the aisle side that only allows one person to pass through is a large room owned by Jiang Chen, the owner of the Deer Hunter Tavern. Ying didn't follow in immediately, but took 2 steps forward and poked her head out to look at the corner of the hallway. She found that there were also 2 room doors and the innermost room covered by curtains, probably the bathroom. There was a purple mark carved on the door of a room that made her a little concerned. Wow! Is that this? Is that this? meYing, who followed in, had already pounced on a treasure chest and opened his hand to embrace it. Ying had no choice but to put aside her thoughts of exploring the purple mark and walked in. Jiang Chen sat on the sofa next to him and said, it's the equipment I no longer use. I've saved it. Then I opened it. Wait. Jiang Chen was about to remind that meYing couldn't wait to open the treasure chest. The surging power of elements spewed out from the dusty treasure chest. A small figure of a mascot was directly pushed up to the ceiling, making a bang sound, and then fell to the ground. Ah! It hurts so much. Are you okay? Ying picked her up and asked angrily. However, meYing had no intention of paying attention to her and rushed towards the treasure chest, completely a small financial fanatic. She lifted a long sword. The black and white slender sword body has the milky white wings of a celestial horse rolled back to the hilt, protecting the user's hands from injury. A faint light flickered throughout the body. Wow, this sword with wind elements circulating. It's so suitable for the screen. meYing reluctantly danced a few times and said. Elemental affinity. Jiang Chen corrected. It's not a sword with wind elements, it's just because Mond has abundant wind elements here, and over time, it's the wind that wraps around this sword. This is not. Anbai, standing at the door, widened his eyes and said, is the west wind sword. Shifeng sword. Ying feels very familiar. Shifeng Knights, Shifeng sword. This is the standard long sword of our Westwind Knights Order, which usually requires dual approval from the captain and the church to be approved for distribution. It is the crystallization of Mond Guard's diligence and technology. Anbai said with great taste, even I don't have it. Did Mr. Jiang Chen give this sword to Ying? Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 6. Gifts for Ying. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Isn't Amber's weapon a bow and arrow? Heman asked in a daze. Since it is a standard weapon, there are naturally other weapon types with corresponding prefixes, but the way to obtain them is the same. Amber said angrily, I don't have a Westwind hunting bow yet. So this sword is quite precious. Parman was even more excited upon hearing this. The more valuable things are, the more she likes them. Of course, it is precious. In addition to its superior qualities, it also represents the recognition of the Westwind Knights and the Church, which is the direction I am striving for. If you can own the Westwind series weapons, it means you are already a mature knight, right? Amber murmured inwardly. Jiang Chen, is this too valuable? Ying looked at him hesitantly. Jiang Chen shook his head and said, I believe that sooner or later, Ying will also be recognized by the people of Mond, the Knights, and the Church. It's just a matter of handing things over to you one step in advance. His tone carries a hint of encouragement. That's it. meYing was afraid that Ying wouldn't want it, so he stood by and helped. If I have another one then, I can save one, he. I've said what I'm thinking in my heart. Ying complains about her. This little meYing, shouldn't he be a relative of the legendary dragon? Amber was also very speechless. Then I'll accept it. A faint smile appeared on Ying's face. She took the Shifeng sword and gave it a slight try, feeling quite satisfied. Quickly, I couldn't let go of the Shifeng sword. There are also some ordinary relics inside the box, which are very suitable for new adventurers. Jiang Chen said at this moment. Holy relics. Ying looked into the treasure chest in confusion, revealing shining feathers, a pocket watch, a small cup, a headdress, and a lifelike flower. The breath between the 5 sacred relics formed a wonderful cycle. This is a set. It is a collection of items that contain mysterious power, which has an amplifying and protective effect on those who can use the power of elements. If they happen to be able to be combined into a set, it can also stimulate some of their own abilities. Jiang Chen explained, this set of adventurers is the favorite relic of adventurers on the Tivat continent. Ying placed the 4 sacred relics close to her body, and the last flower was pinned to her hair. Thank you. She gently stroked the flower of life on the side of her hair and said. Originally falling into this world, losing the unease of blood and power that has always existed, now finally finding peace. It's really enviable. Amber said with relish, the price of this set of adventurers in the Adventurer Association is not cheap, and we still need some contribution to buy it. Our Westwind Knights have no chance. Jiang Chen has already given this set to Ying. With such precious equipment, she doesn't think there will be a second set for herself. Just mention giving her equipment or something, it should just be polite. Why? Ying asked. To put it simply, the Adventurers Association is a mercenary organization. Our Westwind Knights are a legitimate national security organization, how could we possibly join that organization? Amber, with his hands on his hips, always feels proud of his identity as a member of the Westwind Knights. Do the Westwind Knights not have any special relics? Kaya occasionally brings back some scattered relics to increase the strength of the Knights Order, but it's not my turn yet. Amber's little round face suddenly laughed bitterly, then waved his hand, and in the blink of an eye, he regained his spirit. Stop talking about this, remember when I said I wanted to give you a gift. Although I cannot compare my preciousness and strength improvement with the set given by boss Jiang Chen, I have considerable confidence in its practicality. Oh. Ying became somewhat interested. Amber, what is it? meYing originally sat on the table, nibbling on an apple, and then flew up again. Anyway, you should wait for me at the Fengshen statue in the city first. If you don't know, just ask Mr. Jiang Chen, I'll go prepare first. After speaking, he flipped over and jumped down from the window. Crisp and neat. Jiang Chen was speechless as he watched this skilled movement. If her senior members of the Westwind Knights see her, she will probably receive another reprimand. Jiang Chen, what does Amber want to give me? Ying asked curiously. Jiang Chen shrugged and said, isn't there no sense of surprise when you say it? He added, the statue of the wind god is located high in the city of Mond, in front of the church. You can see something by looking up at the fountain below. Well, then I'll go. Ying said, but did not take immediate action. She looked at him and said, are you going with Jiang Chen? I have other things to attend to. Jiang Chen shook his head. Oh. Ying responded with a hint of regret. I didn't learn from Amber. Follow the stairs obediently with Pemin. Pay attention to the wind direction and your own safety. Before leaving, she heard the sound coming down from the building. Ying lightly pursed her lips and responded, her steps becoming more agile. Although I couldn't understand why I was so reminded. So, I'm also going to the Knight's Order. Jiang Chen looked at Ying and meYing searching for the direction of the wind god statue on the fountain square, closed the windows of the attic and second floor, and locked them. Sarah, the stall is closed today. He came down and said to his own waiter. Is it so early, boss? Sarah asked in confusion. Although business has been bad lately, shouldn't we close our stalls so early? Is there anything I need to do? She asked. No, take everything back to the store. Jiang Chen said, today is paid leave. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 7. The True Lord of Crossing the Sea on Ice. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Cavalier's Residence. The Shifeng Knights, as one of the largest forces in Mon City, occupy the best position except for the church. A 3-story rock castle with an underground library and a top-floor attic is the only one in Mon City besides a church. Jiang Chen did not join the Knights, but he was approved by both the leader and the church, and was additionally given the West Wind Sword. He actually has considerable prestige in the West Wind Knights. Boss Jiang Chen. Is there anything I need the help of the Westwind Knights? The 2 Westwind Knights standing guard at the door asked enthusiastically. Is Kaya there? Jiang Chen asked. Are you looking for Captain Kaya? Yes, I should be chatting with Wood in the lobby on the first floor. The 2 of them answered, bowing with their hands on their chests as they waited for him to pass by. The first floor of the lobby. Kaya rested her arms on the wall and chatted with Westwind Knight Wood, who was guarding the confinement room. Kaya, the captain of the Knights Cavalry on the surface, has iconic indigo short hair and dark skin. Wearing a white shirt and blue coat that exposed the chest, with a blue and white cloak. His divine eyes hung on his brown belt, wearing black pants and boots below. No matter how you look at it, you feel that he has a wild and unrestrained temperament all over him. For a young girl from Mon City, such a handsome cavalry captain of the Westwind Knights is not lacking in the allure of being the dream lover. In terms of popularity, it is estimated that only the wealthy Dailak can surpass him. Step on the ice and cross the sea, true lord. Jiang Chen waved his hand and said. Because facing the door, Kaya immediately noticed his arrival. Boss Jiang Chen, I have asked you many times not to use that nickname to refer to me. Kaya lifted her bangs and covered her forehead, saying, besides, why can only I get the nickname that Mr. Jiang Chen personally gave me? Isn't this honor supposed to come first from the head of the piano troupe? I, a small servant, should just forget it. The actions of lifting hair are very destructive. If there are girls from Mon City here, surprisingly claiming to be a minor. It's truly you. Jiang Chen smiled and said. He greeted Wood standing on the side. Is Kelly inside again? Jiang Chen asked. Otherwise, Wood basically doesn't have to guard at the door of the confinement room. Locked in by the Qin, it's said to have exploded the fish again, Wood said with a painful expression. All fish in the rivers and lakes of Mond are public property of citizens and are prohibited from being destroyed for any reason. This is a norm written in the Knight's Order Code. But Kelly wants to experiment with bombs, but she can't blast mountains. What if it burns up? Everything can only be thrown into the water. The problem is that there must be fish in the water. So Coley will definitely make a mistake. Wood is also very desperate and doesn't want to guard the detention room every day. I still have to worry about whether Kelly will conduct any dangerous experiments in the confinement room. What if there is a sudden bang that will blow up the Knight's headquarters? Let me tell Qin later that I can play with Kelly for a while. Jiang Chen said. Since Ying has already arrived at Mond, he can start by shelving his 1-year training plan. Woo-woo, it's so touching. Wood said. Jiang Chen walked away from him without a trace. So, is Boss Jiang Chen coming to the Knight's Order for this one thing? Kaya spoke up and asked. Of course not, I came specifically to find you. Oh. Kaya was somewhat surprised and bowed with one arm on her chest. It's an immense honor to be able to help us with Mon's pride, she said. There's no need to say beautiful words that praise people. Jiang Chen refused to accept his trick and explained his purpose. I'm here to ask the knights to help evacuate the Mond people. Evacuate the Mond people. Kaya looked at him in confusion. From his intelligence network, there haven't been any signs of the Abyss cult launching a massive attack or the fools preparing to cause trouble recently. If nothing unexpected happens, the Wind Demon Dragon should come. Jiang Chen said seriously. Does Boss Jiang Chen have any eyeliner? Kaya's first reaction was this. Do you think eyeliner can fly faster than the Wind Demon Dragon? That's also right. Kaya pondered, but what is the basis for Mr. Jiang Chen's hard work? If there is no justifiable reason for this, our knights are fine, but it will definitely trigger dissatisfaction among the Mon people. The knights are all obedient to orders, and for whatever reason, grassroots knights do not need them. But the Mon people need an explanation. Kaya is also curious, why does Jiang Chen think so? Jiang Chen couldn't be honest with him. The irritable Wind Demon Dragon finally couldn't resist attacking the town. He reached out his hand and a cluster of wind elements gathered in his palm. Wind direction. Jiang Chen said. Dang dang dang. That's it. Wings of the wind. Function statue square, amber showcases the wings of the wind brought to Ying and meYing. Detective knights rely on it to operate in the sky, and the citizens of Mond also love to use it. I brought you here to experience its benefits. Amber's enthusiastic introduction. It's in a tone of enthusiastic recommendation. meYing applauded and said. After all, the wind is Mond's soul, Amber said naturally. Is it the wind? Ying put on the wings of the wind and reached out to feel the wind blowing from the high mountains outside the fruit wine lake, murmuring to herself. Pay attention to the wind direction. P.S. May I ask for some flowers and tickets? Thank you everyone. Then in a few days, Kelly will be up. Make a wish. Make a wish. Make a wish. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 8. Wind Demon Dragon. You are listening at novel full.audio. Function statue square. Amber is still giving advice. You must follow my command, okay? Mond has a lot of people who use the wind wing irregularly and break bones every year. Wow, is it so scary? Fortunately, I can fly myself, said Pemon with a frightened expression, there's no problem with standardized use. And with me, the Mond flying champion, you can rest assured. Amber patted his chest and confidently said. Flying champion. Is Amber so powerful? Parman exaggeratedly said. Amber seemed to have remembered something, her face a bit embarrassed, and she didn't want to continue the topic. She said, well, don't worry, let's start. Ying, while jumping down from here, just spread out the wings of the wind. Amber gave a demonstration and jumped off the circular stone piers in the square. The wings of the wind spread out and took her to the fountain in front of the Goethe Hotel. After landing, she waved to Ying standing above. Ying also jumped down. Schwa. Her body, which had originally fallen rapidly, stabilized with the opening of the wings of the wind, as if a gust of wind was supporting her. I tried to manipulate it. Ying glided towards Amber's direction. Ying is really talented. Work hard and maybe compete with me in the Mond flight competition. Amber encouraged. Is there still a flying competition? Heman asked. If there is a champion, there will be a competition. What reward is winning first place? Pai Meng became excited and said, can I also participate? Amber didn't know how to answer for a moment. Amber, the situation inside the city seems a bit chaotic. Ying spoke up at this moment. She was just in mid-air and saw many Westwind Knights moving, which was somewhat different from normal patrols. Really? Then I'll ask someone later. Amber is also a bit curious. That. Heman pointed out. At the entrance of the Goethe Hotel stood a brown short-haired man in black and red, wearing goggles. The man seemed to notice their gaze and impatiently said. What are you looking at? Stay away from everything. This is the territory of fools. Amber spat out his tongue and pulled on Pai Meng and Ying, these guys, let's stay away. It's just about taking over the Goethe Hotel and treating it as their territory. It's really arrogant. If I catch any horses, the Westwind Knights will have their looks. There is a clear hostility in the tone. What kind of people are they? Ying asked. Fools, the diplomatic mission from the winter country actually has little to do with us. Amber waved his hand and said, let's continue. Next, fly to the fountain square in front of the Deer Hunter restaurant, and Ying's initial test will pass. Amber pulled Ying to the back of the Goethe Hotel and flew down on his own. Ying quickly caught up. She saw from afar in mid-air that the Deer Hunter restaurant had closed its stall, with doors and windows tightly closed, even the grocery store across from her seemed to be doing the same. The originally popular fountain square was silent now. At a strange moment. A strong wind blew from outside the fruit wine lake, carrying a bone-chilling chill. The windmill that was originally slowly spinning in the city of Mond was rapidly turned by this strong wind, with posters and flyers, garbage, and countless leaves rolled up. The sky is visibly darkening, with dark clouds rapidly gathering. Is there a storm? Amber put on the goggles hanging around his neck, his tone full of disbelief. Mond is a city-state protected by the wind god, so such a violent storm should not have happened. Wind direction. Ying suddenly clenched her powder fist. Roar. A dragon roar echoed over the city of Mond in the Mingguan Gorge. The six-winged wind demon dragon descended with hurricanes and waves. The huge size shattered countless building roofs. The city was filled with screams of fear and soon drowned in the frenzy of the wind. Hey, really here? Cavalier's residence. Jiang Chen and Kaya, Qin, Lisa, all ran out. Looking at the wind demon dragon weaving low in Mond. Kaya said happily, fortunately, we did some early guidance. Wind demon dragon, why did it suddenly attack Mond City? Qin's mood is a bit anxious. This unexpected situation caught her off guard. Although the members of the Knights have been arranged to evacuate the people, if they are not driven away or if the wind demon dragon is not calmed down as soon as possible, the level of disaster in the city will gradually increase. This chaotic element. Lisa touched the skin on her arm and said, "It's really easy to get upset." Roar. At the time when several people judged the situation, the wind demon dragon flew up into the high sky of Mon City, its huge upright body roaring deafening at the wind god statue below. It's driving the wind element. Or perhaps, blasphemy against the wind god. The manic power of wind elements condensed together to form a black tornado, descending from the dark clouds and enveloping the wind god statue. However, an unknown force caused this black tornado to shift and wreak havoc towards the city. Not good. Qin's expression suddenly changed. That's. Jiang Chen discovered a figure carried high into the sky by a black tornado. I'll go there. He also said anxiously. The wings of the wind spread out, and with a movement of its body, it flew into the sky with the power of this turbulent wind. This is not a game. In case of any accidents, he cannot afford the consequences. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 9 Skills. Wind King Barrier. You are listening at novelfull.audio. This Barbados is quite proactive in protecting his own statue. Jiang Chen flew up into the sky, thinking in his heart. The mysterious power that caused the storm created by the wind demon dragon to shift and save the wind god statue from suffering is undoubtedly the hidden wind god Barbados. Jiang Chen crashed directly into the tornado that was engulfed in the screen. Ordinary people entering such a tornado only have the immediate consequence of being torn apart. But both of them are users of wind elements, barely able to protect themselves in such a situation. The black tornado blew the two people directly onto the clouds. The dusk just now was dark, and the difference between the blue sky and white clouds made their eyes a bit uncomfortable. Unfolding the wings of the wind, slowly descending towards the clouds. Jiang Chen, why did you rush in? Ying looked at him, her bright eyes flowing. She just saw that Jiang Chen spread out the wings of the wind and actively crashed into the tornado. I'm afraid you might have an accident. Jiang Chen spoke truthfully and said, didn't I remind you to pay attention to safety? Ying's face turned slightly red. I was a bit stunned just now and didn't have time to run. Jiang Chen was about to speak when his face suddenly changed slightly. Here we go. He reached out and swept over Ying's slender waist, flipping over in the air. The wind demon dragon's open mouthpiece brushed past them, and its huge body flew past. The strong wind it brought caused the two to somersault a few times before stabilizing. Are you okay? Jiang Chen breathed a sigh of relief. Well, I actually noticed it too. As Ying spoke, her voice became increasingly shy. She originally wanted to bring Jiang Chen along. But the body reaction didn't seem to be that fast, causing the result to be reversed and now being held by the other princess. Ying, you're gone. meYing quietly appeared and said. Ah. Ying only then realized that the wind had blown up her skirt, revealing a snowy thigh on the white silk that was just above her knees, and there were still shorts on top. But even so, it made her a bit shy. Quickly pull down the skirt and cover it. His face turned red. At this moment, meYing noticed something strange and said, oh, why doesn't it look like it's descending? Jiang Chen, can your wind wings stay high in the sky like this? meYing is truly a good companion for travelers, and coming to help her out at this time may be unintentional. I let the 1,000-year-old wind help you, so that you won't fall. Now imagine that you can restrain this strand of wind and break through the clouds. A gentle voice rang in the ears of the three of them. That's the sound brought by the wind. At the same time, the imprint of wind elements condenses in front of us. Jiang Chen felt like he could manipulate this imprint, capturing the 1,000-year-old flow of wind and turning it into an arrow of wind to shoot out. Who is this voice? Hemin searched everywhere for the owner of the sound. Barbados. Jiang Chen replied. Fengshen. Ying was also somewhat surprised. I didn't expect to receive the help of Mon's faith. The wind god. Ying, you control it. Jiang Chen asked her to spread the wings of the wind and stand high in the sky. Where's Jiang Chen? I'll try this wind demon dragon later. Jiang Chen shook hands and seemed to have something in his hand. Ying didn't ask again, she focused on manipulating the condensed wind element arrows to shoot towards the wind demon dragon. With the help of Barbados, they are always able to chase after the wind demon dragon and attack, and no matter how the wind demon dragon flips in the sky, it cannot find the angle to attack them. Roar. In the roar of the wind demon dragon, there was a hint of unwillingness. Its gaze looked at the two with hatred, even the wind god Batos, spreading its wings and flying towards higher air. It's going to escape. Ying said. Jiang Chen also saw the situation clearly and said, Wind King's barrier. As soon as he finished speaking, a powerful force of wind elements burst out from him. The wings of the wind behind him flapped and suddenly rushed out. Quickly approaching the wind demon dragon preparing to escape. The Wind King barrier, which can even be modified for more sophisticated motorcycles, has an effect on the wings of the wind. Don't be too simple. Oh. Barbados's voice carried a hint of surprise. Concentrate the power of wind elements on a single point to release, creating extremely strong wind pressure and vacuum, driving oneself forward. At the same time, it also reduces the resistance to progress, and this speed is basically equivalent to using the acceleration wind ring infinitely in a short period of time, completely able to catch up with Tevlin. Is this the ability that Boss Jiang Chen has mastered? What does he want to do? Barbados became interested. Boss Jiang Chen. Ying keenly sensed something strange. As the owner of the deer hunter, it's okay for everyone in Mon City to call him that. How could even the wind god be called that? She murmured inwardly. Wow, Jiang Chen is going to collide with the wind demon dragon. meYing exclaimed nervously on the side. I can only see the high altitude in the distance. Jiang Chen held an invisible sword and fiercely smashed a purple-red crystal on the back of the wind demon dragon. Boom! The wind demon dragon flying straight up was suddenly captured by such a heavy blow. It let out a howl and looked back at Jiang Chen. Flutter your wings and fly high into the sky again. Tuolin thought this was a blessing from the wind god Barbados to this person. Not willing to entangle. Shoo. Jiang Chen remained in the high sky, his slightly displeased gaze cast towards several places on the land of Mon that were shining with strange lights at this moment. Is the power of the four winds guarding the temple so strong? I thought the current world level was low, and the opponent was playing away. I could try to solve the problem myself. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 10. Ying's Bandaging. You are listening at novel full.audio. As the wind demon dragon left, several black tornadoes raging in Mon City also dissipated. Jiang Chen slowly fell to the ground, and the wings of the wind behind him made a click sound, shattering into thin pieces and falling down. Jiang Chen, are you okay? Ying glided down and asked with some concern. It's not a big problem. Jiang Chen raised his hand and looked at it. The tiger mouths of both hands were cracked, and blood was gurgling. He was able to directly capture the massive body of the wind demon dragon, and he also suffered the corresponding reaction force. I just didn't expect the power of the four winds guarding the temple to be so strong that even the wind demon dragon wouldn't be truly harmed in such attacks. You're injured. Ying tore off a corner of her skirt and carefully bandaged it for him. Jiang Chen had no choice but to let her bandage her, and originally planned to go find Barbara. That can quickly heal the wound. It's a bit inappropriate to search like this now. We must not let down Ying Baobao's intention. Boss Jiang Chen, Ying. Amber ran over from a distance and looked at the shattered wings of the wind. She patted her chest and said happily, "It's fortunate that the wings of the wind were not shattered on the spot." Everyone was watching the battle over Mon City. "Don't worry, I have a sense of propriety." Jiang Chen smiled and said. Ying, who was still dressing up, impatiently poked his wound, signaling not to speak big. The wind demon dragon actually attacked the interior of the city directly. Amber looked around and his expression became heavy. Despite the departure of the wind demon dragon, dark clouds still shrouded the sky above the city of Mond, and the surroundings were very dim. The previously gentle breeze now also became cold. Pop, 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 pop. Climbing up the stairs of the Fengshan statue square, the sound of applause suddenly rang out. Kaya walked up with her palms bulging. "Boss Jiang Chen, forget it. This unfamiliar traveler actually has the power to fight against the dragon. Are you our customer or is it a new storm?" Kaya's gaze was fixed on Ying, as if trying to see through her. "Are you?" Ying asked in confusion. "Treading on ice and crossing the sea, true lord." Jiang Chen introduced on the side. "Oh, I see." Although Ying had some doubts about the title, she still nodded. "Boss Jiang Chen," he said, "don't give me a nickname and naturally introduce me to others." Kaya almost fell and quickly corrected, "Kaya, captain of the Knights Cavalry." "Oh, hello, my name is Ying." Ying Hui said. "Ying, is it Mr. Jiang Chen's person?" Kaya looked at Ying's careful bandage and asked. Ying nodded. Reporting Jiang Chen's name in Mon City can provide a lot of care and convenience, but she still remembers it. Sure enough, she saw the same look from the cavalry captain Kaya. At first, her guard seemed to have dissipated. The situation is like this. Amber kindly recounted the separation between Ying and his brother. "I see, welcome to Mond, but unfortunately, we have encountered such a bad opportunity. I won't pursue any further questions. In any case, regarding the matter of repelling the wind demon dragon, let me express my gratitude to you on behalf of the Knight's Order." Kaya placed one arm on her chest and said. "So what about the thank that you gift?" meYing raised his waist and asked confidently. "You should know that I helped Amber clean up the Chiochio people's camp before, but I gave him a wings of the wind and a promised honey sauce, carrot, and fried meat." Mond's signature honey sauce carrot fried meat. Kaya asked. "Is it honey sauce and carrot fried meat again?" meYing waved his hand and said, "I don't mind it, that way we'll have two." Ha ha ha. Kaya couldn't help but laugh when this little guy teased her. He finally recovered and said, "If it's convenient for Mr. Jiang Chen and Ying, can we come to the Knight's Order? The acting leader asked me to invite you. Is it a Qin?" Ying Wang looks towards Jiang Chen. "Well, you can go." Jiang Chen said. He looked at his hands. The skill of Ying's binding was really bad, and it was like Zongzi. "I am completely unable to wield the sword." Ying seemed to notice that the package was a bit unsightly, and her face turned slightly red. Cavalier's residence. Team leader's office. "Qin, don't worry so much. Since you are meeting Jiang Chen and the traveler as the acting commander of the Knight's Order, just stay in the office well." Lisa, lazily leaning on the armrest, sat on the stairs of the library area. Qin, who had already arrived at the door, had to walk back and said, "It seems that the wind demon dragon is also active outside the city. After seeing them, I want to do it as soon as possible." "Don't worry, I will also help later." Lisa interrupted her and looked at the door. "Look, isn't this coming?" At the door, multiple footsteps could be heard. Kaya pushed the door in and reported, "Acting Captain, I have brought you here." Finally here, Qin's originally restless emotions were relieved, and a pleased smile appeared on her face. "Ying, we met again so soon. This is Lisa, the administrator of the Knight's Library. Qin introduced to her. A beautiful woman dressed in a blue-purple magician outfit, with long brown hair tied into a single ponytail and shoulders, emerald-like eyes, and a sexy and plump figure. The delicate part under the collarbone and the snow-white thighs exposed on the black silk below the knee, Ying blushed slightly and felt a loss of confidence. "Hello," Ying said. "Oh, is it a good child who came to help because of a shortage of manpower?" Lisa smiled and said, "It's really cute." "And Jiang Chen?" Lisa walked up with her arm resting on his shoulder and leaned in her ear, saying, "Are you finally willing to come see me?" Cough cough. In the room, the sound of Qin and Ying coughing echoed. Qin outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th.